So at this point, I think this is becoming one of the most predictable trends in Hollywood and also in video games, in entertainment, in everything. I think at this point, TV show. I don't really know. Like, I don't know what else is just. It's just everybody's gay. Let's just put that out there. Everybody is gay. There is no such thing as straight anymore. And if you see a straight character, you are more likely to be subverted with a straight character than you would to be a gay character. Because at this point, everybody, I think, is expecting every character to be gay because that just seems to be what's happening. Now, the funny thing is, a new DLC has come out for Horizon Forbidden West, and I very much enjoyed that game. And this whole thing that's happening right now with this DLC doesn't change the fact that I enjoyed the game. I think it's a very good game. It is a little bit cookie cutter in terms of like open world, but it's still a very good game. But apparently there is a new DLC coming out, or is already out, I should say, for Horizon Forbidden West, and apparently it is now making Aloy canonically lesbian. That apparently is going to be the thing, even though in the game, and here's the funny thing. So before I say this, even though in the game, there is so much context to Erin being like her love interest or secret love interest or whatever, like something that's kind of never truly fully explored, but it's kind of hinted at and it's there. They're going to make her canonically gay. She does get hit on by both genders, of course, but they're going to make her seemingly go for women by making her kiss this amazing woman right here. So this article says, new Burning Shores DLC for Horizon Forbidden West confirms Aloy is attracted to women. Now, I haven't played this DLC, so I don't know if she's able to kiss a dude. If she is, you guys can let me know in the comments down below. But as of right now, she apparently only kisses women. So let's get into this article from Bounding Into Comics and see what it has to say. But of course, before we do, guys, please consider giving this video a like because it does help us push out into the YouTube algorithm. It says, as has become almost laughably predictable with Sony games in recent years, I don't think it's just Sony games, I think it's pretty much everybody. A new DLC story for Horizon Forbidden West has confirmed that series protagonist Aloy is sexually attracted to the fairer sex. Released by developer Guerilla Games on April 19th, the Burning Shores expansion picks up an unspecified amount of time after the conclusion of the main Horizon Forbidden West campaign and finds Aloy tasked with making her way to the eponymous Burning Shores, the current name for the city of ruins that was once known as Los Angeles, to hunt down the final member of the game's antagonistic group of thinly veiled analogs to real-world CEOs, the Far Zenith. I like that comparison, it's pretty funny. Successfully making her way to the coast, Aloy is contacted by Seika, a resident of the Burning Shores, whose immediate community was accidentally stranded from the rest of their tribe due to navigation accident, striking a deal that would see Aloy help Seika take down a Zenith defense tower in exchange for the latter's help in navigating the region. The two young women quickly set out to help each other with helping themselves. That's interesting because if this is a character you first meet in the expansion only, surely Aloy has had feelings or emotions for other people that she's known much longer. Why is it that this woman randomly, who you just meet in this standalone expansion, is the one that she decides to have a love interest for? It's really weird. She's had the opportunity to be with multiple different characters, and she's always been very cold and shuns them off, but she definitely has history with many other characters, so I find it weird that she decides to want to have a relationship or at least a kiss scene with someone she just met or has only known for assuming however long it is in this expansion, a couple days or a week, whatever, however long the time is. She's clearly known other people much longer, so I feel like it would have made more sense to have her kiss someone else she's known for a much longer time. Even if it is a woman, why give it to some random girl she just met? That's where I feel like this is kind of forced down your throat sort of a thing. It doesn't feel natural, and it kind of just gets pushed out there on you randomly in a DLC because they got to hit some sort of diversity quota. That's how it feels to me. It doesn't feel natural to her story. But then again, this is someone who is usually very cold to people. So for her to just randomly open up to this person, I don't know the context, but it just seems odd to me. So it says, however, the pair soon discover that Seika's local community has been taken captive by Lundra, the very same Zenith member Aloy was sent to track down in the first place. Faced with Lundra's horrific plan to brainwash and enslave Seika's people in order to have his own personal cult of worshippers, Aloy set out to infiltrate his base of operations and put an end to his delusions of grandeur. Eventually, Aloy is successful in taking down Lundra and in turn, allowing for the remaining members of Seika's camp to finally leave the Burning Shores and reunite with their larger tribe. In turn, the entire DLC campaign comes to a close with one last conversation between Aloy and Seika. Therein, Aloy discovers that Seika has chosen to delay her reunion with her people for just a little while longer due to her own feelings of ostracization, prompting the heroine to offer her new friend some advice regarding the concept of home. For a long time, I hate the idea of home, says the bow-wielding warrior. For me, it meant where I grew up, where I wasn't wanted. Turning to look at Seika, Aloy continues, but the thing is, the last few months I realized that home isn't really a place at all. It's more like the people I want to be with. And she replies by saying, I like that. So you already know where this is going to go. You already know that Aloy and her are going to have a little sesh, if you know what I'm saying. And again, it doesn't surprise me that they're doing this. Guerilla, I don't really know if they're like a super woke company or whatever the case may be. And like I said, I don't really give a shit. The game itself is very good, and I highly recommend it to anybody that wants to play it, regardless of this bullshit. But the fact of the matter is, these companies are, the gaming company, I should say, are starting to do identity politics. And they were doing it before, but it was really subtle with gaming compared to like Hollywood movies, TV shows, or whatever. It was very subtle in comparison, but now it's starting to be not so subtle. I'll put it to you like this. There was a gay update in the Lord of the Rings online MMO. That game has been a staple for true Tolkien nerds, and now apparently they're doing a gay update that allows for like LGBTQ stuff within Tolkien's world, and it's throwing off a lot of players. People are quitting in droves, and it's rightfully so. They should, because you're messing with a known established IP. This particular situation, whatever. I really don't give a shit. You want to make Aloy gay? I really don't give a fuck, because at the end of the day, she was pretty much cold to everybody, and you want to make her suddenly kiss someone randomly that she just met? Whatever. That's up to you. I don't really care. Is the story good? That's all I care about. The kissing scene doesn't mean anything to me. Even if she kissed Erend, the only saving grace to that I think would add to the story is their relationship that they've had over the last 2 games. She's obviously known him for a very long time compared to this person she just met in this DLC. So it would have meant more. It would have meant more for the story, or whatever you were trying to put out there with it. But would it have made the story for me if she kissed him? No, absolutely not. Would it have meant anything super? No, absolutely not. It would have been just a little bit more of what was presented here, only because she has that history with him. But again, they don't really care about that. They want you to see 2 people of the same sex kissing, because that just is great for them. It's great for their PR. It's great for their ESG scores. It's great for their overall diversity quota that they have to reach in terms of entertainment. They're held to the same standard as Hollywood studios, so they got to put out a certain amount of shit. And ironically, of course, they didn't do it in the main game, because that was going to affect the sales of the game. Of course, you guys know that already, right? I don't really have to say that. They didn't do it in the main game. Why? Because they're chicken shit. They know that it was going to affect the game's sales. Whether it would have done it drastically or not, that's up to time to tell. But obviously they didn't do it, so that goes to show you that they knew it would have been substantial. So they kept it out of the main game, and then they added it in the DLC after, because they already got all the sales from the main game, and whatever comes from the DLC is just extra, and they know this. So whenever companies put this diversity bullshit into DLCs, I don't take it seriously, and I think it's pretty pathetic. If you're gonna do this shit, put it in the main game. Don't be bitches. Put it in the main game like a true person would. Otherwise, you are just a diversity pussy. Like, you are not actually trying to do diversity, and you're too scared to put it in the main game. So again, if you're happy that they put it in a DLC, congratulations. They're exactly the reason why they're doing this. They are pandering to you, the person who is going to be happy to see 2 digital women kiss in a DLC that was tacked together and thrown for diversity. That's all it basically is. And honestly, like I said, even if it was a straight person kissing, if it was her kissing a dude, it still would have felt tacked on, because again, they're doing it in the DLC and not the main game. So what if someone decides to not buy the DLC? They would never have gotten that conclusion in terms of character arc between her and whoever she would have decided to kiss. It's the same exact shit. So they're knowing that not everybody's going to buy the DLC, so they're also knowing not everybody's going to see this. But of course, with PR and everything online, they know that people are at least going to hear about it. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you did enjoy it, and if you did, consider leaving me a subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. Don't forget to like the video, comment, let me know what you thought, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Hypnotic out.